Hello guys, I'm so excited that finally I have just received my new book, The Bible of Bodybuilding. It's a book that consists of 400 pages. You can purchase this book on Amazon, and this book contains my former books, The PDs Using Sports and the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, plus the Training, Nutrition, Supplementation, but also including extra features, Q&As about gear, about HRT, but also a quiz regarding supplements, diet, and of course PEDs. So the Bible of Bodybuilding on Amazon, both on ebook and Kindle version.
Who's in it? So recording. Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George Souliatos, brought to you by his book, The Bible of Bodybuilding, available on Amazon.com. Everything you need to know about training, nutrition, supplementation, PEDs, put that all together, get a great physique. Might as well get my book, Real Bodybuilding. And now all the way from Athens, Greece, please welcome Dr. George Souliatos. Good morning, good afternoon to you, Doctor.
Hello from a cold Athens. We have last night was 35 over here.
Ooh, okay.
Now it's about 45. Well, it's kind of cold for us, you know.
You get snow there. I didn't realize that. It snows
just
there.
a little bit yesterday for 10 minutes.
Wow.
In the morning, yeah.
So big news, you know, we're all getting excited for the Arnold, and the list of competitors finally came out a couple days ago. And wow, big names. Brandon Curry, Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, he's a hot favorite. I guess Brandon realizes that the Olympia is tough now with Rami, so he wants to regain back his title. I mean, he never lost the title, but he wants to double his title. Arnold, so it's very prestigious Arnold as well, you know.
And Bonac coming back, William Bonac.
I believe now Bonac sounds a little bit of rusty because he didn't do the Olympia, and he was kind of
he wasn't
after 2020. He didn't show up, you know. Of course, he's not neglected, but I don't know if he can reach again his prime.
Yeah, I mean, he won this thing twice. He's a two-time winner. We got Steve Kuklo, Nathan DeAsha, Rafael Brandel, Regan Grimes, Cedric McMillan, Justin.
Well, I guess Steve will be the top three by the names, you know.
Yeah.
And also Grimes, this athlete of Milos, has a really good muscle anatomy, you know. His structure and his symmetry is really good.
Yeah, he's going to be good. He's still a young guy too. And look out for this Brett Wilkin kid. He's a young guy, but he's really good too.
And Akeem Williams also, huh?
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
And for the classic fans out there, it's the whole top five from the Olympia, except for Chris Bumstead.
Really? So it's Logan, huh?
No, Logan wasn't in the Olympia. He didn't make the Olympia, but
okay.
But we have
I guess,
second place was Terrence Ruffin. Third place was Breon Ansley. Fourth place was Urs Kalaczynski. And fifth place was, they call him Ramon Quiroz.
And another thing why Brandon wants to come back is because for the last 3 years, he just competed 2 shows. So it's very apart. And he wants again to run some miles, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Rami's tough to beat. I mean, if Brandon was going to beat him, he probably would have beat him this last time because he was.
Because Brandon from 2019, he waited for 15 months to compete, and then another 12 months. Yeah. So it's very apart, and he wants to prepare sooner, you know, I guess.
Yeah, that's happening again because the Olympia was in October this year, and it's going to be December next year. So it's another 15 months between shows. Between Olympias.
Oh, this is a problem because, as we said in the previous episode, we're just 6 months apart, and we're cutting the year and a half, you know.
Yeah.
And now they have to hurry up from the Olympia, a little bit of bulking for a few months, and again from New Year's Eve again cutting phase.
Yeah, it's tough for these guys to try to figure out. Their bodies need to rest sometime. You know, they can't just do show one after another without their body getting really beat up. It's a lot. So. Anyway, we didn't get a lot of questions last week, but boy, this week we got a ton of questions. Isn't that weird how it goes? Some weeks is like barely any. So guys, try to make sure you put your questions underneath in the comments, because we had somebody asking, where do I post my questions? I put them right there, of course. Comment section right under this video. Because we have so many, I'm going to get right into it. Question number 1. Hey, doc, I'm in my mid-50s, been lifting for roughly 25 years, excellent health. And after running TRT for a couple of years, I'm now like a kid in a candy store, really enjoying Test and Deca. My questions are, number one, I have some Anavar, and although I'm not a fan of orals, I don't want it to go to waste. Just send it to me, guy. Come on. Can I safely run 40 milligrams split twice daily for 12 to 14 weeks at my age without causing long-lasting damage? So that's his first question.
So I don't think so. 12 weeks is a long period of time for orals. 40 milligrams, if it's legitimate, they're not, it's a considerable dose.
Yeah.
So I guess better do 4 weeks, but if I were you, I would stick on replacement therapy, you know?
Okay. And the second question was, what's the best way to run a blast of 500 or more milligrams of test a week without resorting to an AI? Run it with some Masteron or Proviron right off the bat. He's roughly 12 to 13% body fat. So yeah.
Now, both of those compounds are DHT derivatives and synthetic DHT actually. Yeah. So they cannot be compared to aromatase inhibitor that kill the estrogens. So I guess half a gram of testosterone will aromatize. And you're definitely gonna need at least 2 milligrams of anastazole. Now, if you don't have access to anastazole or you're afraid of your HDL, I don't think actually, well, 2 milligrams perhaps if you don't do cardio, if you smoke, if you eat junk, but 1 milligram of anastazole won't have an impact on HDL. But anyway, you can try use if you want drostanolone every other day since it's propionate, along with Masteron, and you can add some tamoxifen also. Because frankly, 20 years ago, there were no aromatase inhibitors, so bodybuilders used to dry up without any aromatase inhibitor. So yes, if you want to do this polypharmacy, try use Masteron, Proviron, and Novadex together.
Okay, cool. All right, next question. Best ways to increase HDL on HRT. An old article of yours states your use of losartan to help with nandrolone sides. Oh, is that two different questions? Yeah, that's two different questions. So his first question, the best ways to increase your good cholesterol, the HDL.
Yes,
on HRT.
Daily cardio, lower your visceral fat, avoid the saturated fat and trans fat, refined sugars, use niacin with every meal, krill oil, stop smoking, and cardio also might help, you know. Okay. And of course, do not abuse on testosterone because androgens may lower HDL. Now, about the second part, I use losartan, not just for the blood pressure, because I would say that if I don't use losartan, I have over 13, you know, which is towards the higher range. I mean, 135 to 85 is the new standard for blood pressure. But I use it because there are some side effects and there are some data online that it can lower erythrocytosis and you can postpone a little bit your blood donation or your blood flow model. You won't avoid, but you will postpone it for some time. So I'm running losartan 1 year now, since the first quarantine actually, April 2020. Yeah. More than a year. Sorry. More than a year, yes. And I do regular phlebotomies every 90 days. Okay, but if you use losartan, you may a little bit increase your TRT dose. You may add a little bit of nandrolone, you know. Yeah,
because you said your article was about using losartan to help with the sides.
That article was by Rick Collins, and he asked also Bill Welling and Eric Serrano and some other guys, what are your ideas, you know, and your thoughts regarding the implementation of nandrolone into the TRT regimen as part of the HRT regimen. And I said that in order to avoid my erythrocytosis, because I'm prone to this, I'm applying losartan in order to avoid elevated hematocrit. For some other guys, not necessarily, but I have the DNA of never getting anemia. I'm on the other side, you know, I have too much blood, and I need a Dracula every time or so to suck my blood.
Well, I guess it's better to have too much blood than not enough blood. What do you do if you don't have enough blood?
I agree with that, Ron, but there comes a time when you have so much that you need to either to waste it or to share it, you know.
Donate. Yeah.
But we are hot temper guys.
Next one, I don't know what this drug is. I hope you do. You let's see, Dr. T, I'm on 6.25 milligrams of carvedilol. It's CARV.
This is a beta-2 antagonist, you know.
Okay.
So it's a beta-2 blocker. Actually, it slows down the heart in order to avoid left ventricular hypertrophy and blood pressure.
Okay, that makes sense now that I read his question. It says, I'm on 6.25 milligrams of carvedilol twice a day for heart maintenance post-heart attack. It's been about 3 years since the cardiac event. My cardio is much improved. However, I feel like it holds me back during cardio sessions.
Yes, it cuts down to submaximal. So when you go up to 80, 90%, it's like, how you say the word? It's you don't push the throttle more, you know?
Gotcha. So yeah, he says, should I modify? Also, is there a better medication I can use?
No, you should consult your cardiologist if he wants to modify it, you know? And actually, one of the other side effects is depression, lower libido of the beta blockers, you know? Check out your LVH. How much is it? Your blood pressure, you know?
Yeah.
And accordingly to that, he will decide. The one who's in charge, he put the medication.
So his final question is, what do you recommend for cardio at age 49 post-heart attack?
For cardio, yeah. Well, low pace walking, about 3 miles per hour walking.
Okay, yeah. He can't be doing that real fast stuff, no.
No. This is good to establish the collateral circulation and increase the HDL.
Okay. Next question is about fasting, which I don't like. I don't like being hungry, so this gets me upset reading this. Should I implement 3-day fast per week, as many gurus are telling you will get massive 2,000% spike of GH, and later when you start eating again, you'll be extra anabolic? Will I get any benefits?
This is a big misunderstanding, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
People believe that with GH you're gonna grow. No, you grow with IGF-1. With GH you burn fat. So in the first place, GH, what it does is melt your fat. So if you train on an empty stomach, you just burn fat because GH is released. If you want to grow, you have to eat so that your liver releases IGF-1. Otherwise, inject exogenous IGF-1. Otherwise, abuse GH to release IGF-1. So doesn't mean if you starve for 3 days, you're going to improve your insulin sensitivity. And afterwards, you're going to suck up the nutrients, like when we do the depletion just before carb loading before the show. All right. So that's how it works. All right. So in first place, GH, what it does, either it's endogenous or exogenous, it's fat burning hormone.
Yeah.
The muscle growth effects come through the IGF-1, which is the peptide out of growth hormone released by the liver or by itself when we introduce IGF-1 itself.
Gotcha. Yeah, because when he says 3-day fast, I mean, he must mean like 3 days out of the week he would fast, not 3 days in a row. That'd be insane.
Yeah, but imagine, Ron, what muscle glycogen will be synthesized during fasting? Nothing. Zero. You're going to burn out your muscles.
Yeah.
You're going to utilize muscles. This is the worst case scenario, and some adipose tissue. But during lifting weights, you cannot burn fat, you know, for energy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of fasting. And I don't have the science to back it up. I just don't like being very, very hungry and tired. So sorry. Gus Poulos, his weekly question. Here we go. Hello, doctor. My question is, when I'm on tren, my urine becomes very dark. I've always thought this is because the color of the tren in the bottle is very dark. However, my doctor said it's because my kidneys are filtering out toxins. In order to remove the dark coloring, I should just drink more water. Is that true?
Is that true? Yes, I've experienced myself. It's like rust. Your urine smells heavily. Yeah. And actually, this trend has a bitter taste and also smell odor, you know?
Yeah.
So it's brownish, actually. It's not the yellowish parabolan, you know, it used to be in the 80s.
Yeah.
And yeah, your urine stinks. And you should dilute it with more water and check out your blood pressure, because tren elevates blood pressure. And this is how kidneys becomes toasted after some years, you know.
Wow. Yeah. Have you heard that, I believe at some points I've been able to taste the tren when I inject it. Is that even possible, or am I imagining things?
Well, in a way that you burp.
No, I can when you inject it and you get the tren cough, I swear there have been times where I felt like I could taste some like metallic sort of something in the back of my throat from
The benzolene, benzol, which is an alcohol.
Who knows what the hell I was
actually benzolene, you know, if you try to smell it, it is very irritatable, you know.
Maybe that was it.
Because it's an alcohol.
Interesting. Everyone loves a trend. All right, doctor, do you see any benefits of adding DHEA or SDHEA on a TR protocol?
Well, SDHEA is the blood test. So DHEA, yes, is very good to apply it after your 40s. And it's the mother of all hormones, you know, since testosterone cuts off your own DH production, the cascade. So it's good to supplement it, because after a while, the adrenals get tired, you know, they get fatigued. So you need to apply exogenous DHEA as an androgen. It improves free testosterone. It improves also sex drive, you know, cognitive function. The immunity also is boosted. So it's a good thing to use it both sexes, both men and women. I use it every day for the past 5 years.
Yeah, I use it. It's not that expensive either. It's, compared to all these drugs that we try to get a hold of.
It's considered doping though. But if you have a blood test that shows you have deficiency and you want to restore your levels, it's no problem. But seriously, it's not serious ergogenic compound. You know, you're not gonna build muscles or run faster with DHA.
Wouldn't that be something? He asked me a question too about doses, because he wants to know what bodybuilders use, because he says we're tired of hearing gurus or big bodybuilders saying that they just take 250 milligrams of test and 200 Deca to achieve their physiques. So he feels like bodybuilders lie about their doses and their coaches lie about their doses. I don't know.
I tell you, if you have pharmaceutical grade stuff and not underdose, then you might take less and work.
Right.
Also, how many years you train, how you eat, how you sleep. We said that before.
Yeah.
I mean, lazy bastards that take underground crap and they may abuse it and they look like shit, you know, so it's multifactorial. Right. But generally, I guess, the cycle begins from 250 testosterone and up over, you know. Yeah.
I mean,
and androlone should follow, but we want to keep the ratio for the sake of sex drive. Otherwise, it's close. You know, you can use 600 Deca and 500 test if you don't have problems with sex drive, or go up to 1,000. Since I was 27, you know, I was hearing these things from other gurus, and this is something ordinary. You know, I never heard over 1,000, over 1 gram of Deca. You know.
No, I mean, I've heard of people using a gram or 2 of test a week, a gram of Deca, a gram of tren, but you know, we don't know. Nobody. The only people who tell you what they're using, they're not usually the pros. They're these guys with YouTube channels that are telling you so you'll watch their videos. They just want
the pros, you know, it's a stigma, you know, and they're not allowed to. And actually, if a pro speaks openly, then if he's not that good as the doses, you know, then something goes wrong with his fame, then and his pride, you know. Yeah. But if he's so good and he takes massive doses, again, they will accuse him for abusing. So where is his point? Yeah,
you can't win.
So people will always never be satisfied what he hears, you know,
right?
What they hear.
So I don't.
But I'm telling you that. Yeah, I mean, if Adrian Smuger died with those doses, doesn't mean that Lee Haney or Ronnie Coleman use the same doses. You know, it's a matter of genetics as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for people to understand the genetics component of our sport.
We don't care, do we, Ron? I don't care how much Dorian took. The point is, I'll never. I mean, he trained like a maniac, and he was a game changer for you know, for the sport. And Ronnie as well. The point is, okay, everybody may use whatever they want, but the point is the best wins.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've known, you've known guys who use tons and tons of gear, grams, and they still look terrible. They don't have the genetics. It's
Yeah,
just
they're not as good, as they're supposed to be.
right. Here's a great question. Doctor, I'm wondering when I'm traveling, can I pour some test in a normal clean plastic bottle and use that to inject at a later stage? Like a water bottle, empty out the water and put in some test.
No, man, you shouldn't do that.
It sounds very
It's
unsanitary.
sterilized. This is sterilized stuff, and even the air doesn't come in, so it's sealed,
Yeah, you're going to get an infection. That sounds very, very dangerous. Yeah, sir, I wouldn't do it, dude. Get some of that, what is it called? Nebido? What is it called?
Nebido, yeah, it's 4
Nebido.
ml, yeah. It's very slow, actually.
Very slow.
Get the prescription paper,
All right, we got a training question. Leg training. I cannot do free weight squats because of a lower back injury, but I can use the machines. Which is safer for the lower back? Leg press with the vertical upright seat back and legs in a horizontal position parallel to the floor. Oh, so that's pushing this way, where the back is stationary and legs push the plate, or the hack squat machine where the plate is stationary and you lie down with shoulders pressing against pads and move your whole torso.
I guess the safest way is the 45 degree, the 90 degree actually classic leg press, because your butt is isolated. Yeah. The other one is the worst because it flexes your waist, your lower back, and it kills it. Huh. The one that Tom Platz used to do, press the ceiling.
Oh, the vertical press.
Yeah, this is the worst for your waist.
Oh, wow.
The worst because your midsection, your lower back, it's hanging,
Yeah, yeah.
So when you do the 45 degree leg press, the classic one, your butt is fixed, and this is what determines the safety of your lower back.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've had lower back injuries many, many times when I could not squat. So the leg press has been a savior for me. The classic 45 degree angle.
Yes, but make sure you hold on tight so that your butt doesn't move.
Yeah, I've also noticed
it's fixed over there,
If most people don't go far enough down, but if you go too far down and your butt starts coming off the seat.
No, you shouldn't move your butt. You shouldn't move your butt.
Butt should stay right there planted. Okay, that was a good training question, sir. Thanks for that one. What is the best protocol of taking Sustanon 250, 1 ml per week? Like, how could you split that up?
I guess split it in half. Split it in half rather than doing 1 ml.
Yeah, like a Monday and a Thursday, or a
yes.
Sunday and a Wednesday, something like that. This is a Pfizer Genotropin, a GH question. Is Genotropin Pfizer good? So it'd be Pfizer Genotropin, good for bodybuilding, or is it too expensive? What is the equivalence between milligrams and IU? Which are other pharmaceutical?
1 to 3. So 1 milligram is 3 IUs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But Genotropin is among the top 5 pharmaceutical grade GHs. Yeah. Speaking of Genotropin, I had a patient who was using Genotropin, and we tested the IGF-1, and seriously, it was not that elevated I was expecting compared to one on the ground that I'm using. So it doesn't matter. All GHs are the 191 amino acids. The point is how much the IGF-1 will be boosted by the liver and shows the potency. And sometimes you just pay for the brand, So it doesn't mean that I don't know, the quality is superior.
We call it generic. That stuff from China. We just call it generic because it's like half the price of the Pfizer pens or things like that. But you're saying it doesn't really matter. It's the same, just like generic.
When I went to Denver, Bill Welling offered me 2 kits actually of GHs. Now, I had 2 GHs back home, one Genotropin and another one, a European that was underground. Both of them turned to be GHs. But afterwards, I checked the IGF-1 and they're equally elevated. So it doesn't mean that the underground that is still GHs, because it passed the test, elevates to a lesser degree the IGF-1, So sometimes, I don't say it's a waste of money, but it's just for the sake of, if you want to use the real stuff, okay, use the real stuff. Well, you can do the same job with the underground as long as the IGF-1 goes up.
Yeah. So you just have to do the blood test to confirm your IGF levels are being raised.
Yeah, it's like saying that I'm using an underground testosterone and I want to use the Proviron, which is, let's say, the Mercedes of the testosterone,
Yeah.
the real deal from Germany.
Because, in the US, I don't know if it's the same situation in Greece and Europe, but people are buying a lot of generic drugs because the trade names are so much more expensive. So, people on some expensive medication from, I don't know, Merck or Pfizer, they'll get it a generic version, usually from Canada, for like half the price, 1/3 the price. And it's the same drug, it's just a generic version. So,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is all we got one more question. I'm sorry. This is the final question. What is the relation between serotonin, testosterone, and DHT?
So testosterone makes DHT, but also testosterone improves serotonin, which is the joy hormone. And actually, it is also linked to production of estrogen. So that's why testosterone is not replaceable in TRT, because it improves serotonin that other steroids might not do through the aromatization. And also DHT is antidepressive. So that's why testosterone reverse your depression, okay? But also testosterone is capable of improving dopamine, which is the reward hormone, the satisfaction feeling, okay? That's why it's addictive, the testosterone. You cannot stop it.
Dude, I know. I'm not stopping. We'll talk to that as all our questions. I want to remind everyone before we go to please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, leave some comments, leave any questions you have for the next show right there in the comments. Is this our last show of the year? No, we got one more. Yeah, I just realized.
We're approaching to 145, and then before Columbus, we're gonna overpass the 150. Huh?
Yeah, imagine that. We'll have to have a party. Oh man, I got to buy you a drink, Columbus. What do you drink, Doc? When you drink, what do you drink?
A red wine. Come on, we're gonna have it.
No,
I want to have a dinner with Steve and with Rick.
Yeah.
And speak about our plans.
Steve loves the expensive wine. Let me tell you, Steve's always getting rid of it.
So Steve can afford buying us.
He loves looking at that wine list. He knows all about wine. He's going on like wine vacations, like tasting wines all over this vineyard and that vineyard. He's really into wine.
And also Rick drinks wine occasionally,
I don't know a damn thing.
I want to try an American steak.
Oh yeah.
And
okay.
Rick told me a New York, how you say New York?
New York strip, sirloin?
Strip, what is this?
It's some kind of steak. I eat steak. I don't know that much about it. But yeah, we got some great steakhouses. Steve likes steak. Steve will find a good one for you. Yeah.
All right.
There's actually Columbus. There's a couple right within like a block or two of the hotel and convention center that people. Yeah.
And it's a Greek church also,
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, I'm not looking for the churches, but yeah, if you need to go to church Sunday morning, that's right there, I guess. Cool. All right. Well, guys, again, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when we're getting new videos put out. Of course, go on Amazon and get the doctor's book, The Bible of Bodybuilding. Better hurry up. Christmas is coming. And that's it. We thank you so much, Doctor, doing this show every week. National bodybuilding champion, making a comeback in 2022 as a Masters. This is going to be exciting. We can talk about that as the show gets closer, of course. And that's it. We thank you guys for watching. Ask Dr. Testosterone with Dr. George Souliatos. We'll see you next time.